If you have any animal loving kids in your house, highly, highly, highly recommend this one. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler, and today I'm doing a review of the zoologist unit from Campfire Curriculums. If you haven't yet, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button, and down below in the description box I'll have a link to this curriculum if you want to go check it out, and I'll have links to other free things like curriculum trials and all sorts of things down below in the description box. Now, it's important to note that before I jump into this video that I was not paid for this review. I purchased this unit with my own money, and I am doing a review on it because my son loves this unit so much that I decided to review it for you because I want to tell you about it. And if you have any animal loving kids in your house, highly, highly, highly recommend this one. This one has been such a blast to go through, and we're about halfway through it now. We just love it so much. Now I'm going to take you through some of the basics about it and some of the cool things that we've been learning inside. So if you're unfamiliar with Campfire Curriculums, they have all sorts of units on their website that go into all kinds of topics. Everything from the Titanic to vocational jobs, and even like hobby type things like photography or beekeeping. And I think that this is such a great thing for teenagers especially, and I'm a mom of teen boys, so you know, that's kind of my domain right now. With all of the jobs that they have on there and all the trades that they have on there, it's a really cool way to find out if your kid is actually interested in that topic and if they want to go in that career field. The great thing about Campfire is they actually have people from those fields, like experts in those fields, creating units about their job. And I haven't been able to really find that anywhere else. So I think that's a really cool way to find out your child's interest so they can go on that career path later on. Now, my youngest child has been animal obsessed since probably toddlerhood, and he has talked about becoming a zoologist for a long time. He's talked about getting his first job at our local zoo, and he has been really looking at jobs with animals for years. Now, he's only in 6th grade. He's going into 7th grade in just a couple of months, but I think this is a good way to find out if this is just a interest of his or if this is something he wants to do. So I thought it would be a good way for him to learn more about the job and what a zoologist does. And I was right. And we found out he's actually more interested in it than he thought. I do want to show you some of the pages and have you see what these pages look like. And I want you to see the artwork because I think whoever they hired for the designer did such an amazing job with this unit, and this is one of the prettiest units I've ever seen. So here is the front cover of the Through the Eyes of a Zoologist unit, and you can see right here that this is the growing book, so that is the mid-grade book. So because my son is in 6th grade, I got the growing. He is advanced, so I probably could have done the high school one, but we decided to do growing. So inside of the table of contents, you're going to see that there is 12 lessons and an appendix. This was released in September of 2022, so it is quite recent here. So I'm just going to kind of flip through some of these pages. One of the things that I also really like about these units is it's really made for the dads to get involved too. Now that doesn't mean that the dads are required to get involved, but it is made for the dads to get involved, and it's one of those things, if dad is around to do it at some point, even if it's early in the morning or late in the day after he comes home from work, totally get dad involved if you can. I'll also mention these units are extremely thorough. They have some of the most comprehensive information inside of these units, and I do not know how they get away with charging as little as they do. Most of their units are around $29.99, and really, there's more packed in these units than you can imagine. Now, you can break up these lessons any way you want, but typically my family does one lesson a week, and we break it up into chunks for like a 4 to 5 day duration. And there are things to do like enrichment projects, books to read. They have kinesthetic type of things. They have absolutely everything you can think of involved in here. Yesterday, for one of our things that we did, we actually watched a movie from Living Waters on evolution. So there are all kinds of things packed in here. Now, I will say too, this is a Christian curriculum, so it's going to stand with Christian principles, and it's going to really follow scripture with all of this. So when I say it deals with evolution, they're talking about evolution from a creation standpoint. So no worries there. There is nothing in here that is going to conflict with a Christian worldview. These also count as high school electives. So if you need an elective for your high schooler, you can do that. Next year, I plan on getting the car maintenance one for my son Joshua, who is going to be in 11th grade, and he's interested in being a mechanic, and we have a trade school here in town that he's interested in possibly attending. So I think that getting the car maintenance one will probably be a good idea for him to see if he's actually interested in that field or if he just thinks cars are cool. So the zoology unit is a 12 lesson type of unit. So there are 12 lessons throughout this entire thing, and you can break that up over 12 weeks, which is what we plan to do. Or you can just set a timer and stop it after like 20 or 30 minutes or however long you want to spend, and then pick it up the next day and just see how long you go with it. Each of the Campfire units comes with something called Core Connections, which is a book that comes with your order. And I'll show you everything that comes with your order. So you're not just going to get this book, you're going to get 3 different levels of this book for every single age group. You are also going to get your Core Connections book, and then there's like a directions book for the parents. So let's kind of back that up a little bit. You're going to get 3 of these books. They're all going to be similar, but the language is going to be a little bit different in them, and the pages might be a little bit different because it's going to be geared for different aged children. So the early level, which is the lowest level, is for the pre-readers through grade 1. The growing book, which is this one right here, is for elementary through middle school. And the advanced is actually for high school and adult. The Core Connection book is going to involve different subjects. So for this book, our Core Connections book goes over history, it goes over geography, it goes over language arts. So one of the main things that they're learning in this zoology book is how to take notes, and it's bringing in that language arts aspect to enrich and kind of build upon what they're already learning. So my youngest has a spiral notebook that he's keeping to go along with this class, and he's making his note pages and he's learning note taking. And this is the first time he's really had to do like major note taking, so it's been interesting, and he's doing really well with it, but it's something that he's learning how to do for the first time while also learning zoology. So it's kind of, you know, one of those things that's really cool because it goes hand in hand with a subject that he's interested about. So because of that, he's doing a better job of it, and he's learning more with that. So the Core Connections is going to weave in all of those subjects. So you're going to have that history, language arts, reading. There's so many different subjects that the Core Connections is going to do. Now, you can do this any way you want. You don't have to do the extra things. However, we do. I like to have that. We do have the extra time to do that. So I think it really depends on, are you covering those subjects already? And do you have the extra time to really cover them? So, you know, I think you really need to navigate that. Now, I know some parents actually do use these units as their core curriculum, and that's a way for them to get in those subjects. And for overachievers like my child, it's just a way to expand upon things that they're already learning. So every family situation is going to be different with that. So far, we are about halfway through. And my son said that his favorite lesson so far has actually been lesson 2, which deals with taxonomy, and he's learning all the charts and things like that. And one of the projects that we did, I think it was under the kinesthetic projects, is we actually cut out pictures of a bunch of animals, and then he had to actually put them on the taxonomy chart that we like personally made. Like, we made our own taxonomy chart, and that was really cool. We also watched a video on taxonomy, and he had never heard of it, and I think I have maybe heard of it like years ago in school, but I never went as in depth with that subject as Campfire has gone into it. And we watched a video from somebody who does this for a living, and that was really cool. And we got to learn how to classify animals and put them on the taxonomy chart. And then yesterday we expanded upon that lesson while we tried to classify different species of monkeys and things like that all over the place. And it was really, really neat. It was a fun project to do. Also, for you people who have large families, you can do this all together. When you purchase the unit, you get all of those books, so you can, print off whatever books that you need, and you can actually do it that way. And you can have one in elementary, you can have one in high school, and you can do the same curriculum or the same unit together at the same time. So you can teach one lesson and it's gonna save you time. As far as printing, I get asked about printing these a lot, because this is, I did a double-side print, and this is 173 pages, and that's double-sided. I get asked, do I use a printer or do I send off for it to be printed? Do I use, a printing company? How do I do that? I think it's cheaper to actually just buy the EcoTank. If you have a good printer, just print it out at home, especially if you have an EcoTank, print it out at home. I know some families have sent it off to be printed, and it was very, very costly. I think it was just ridiculous. I think it was way overpriced, and it was just so much easier to print it out at home. As far as the binding, I have a comb binder, spiral binder machine, and I do the spirals myself. You can just put it in a 3-ring binder, just print it out and put it in a 3-ring binder, super easy. I like to spiral bind just because I like to be fancy, but you don't have to do that. I could totally just put this in a 3-ring binder and my kids would be happy with it. But I think it takes up less space when it's spiral, so I just do it that way. Their sources on this are amazing. There is a source page if you want to check out the sources that they use to create this. And typically they work with people who are in the field. So you can rest assured that the sources on these units are top-notch, top quality, and people in the actual field. So you can be sure that all of the information in here is accurate and up to date. They release new units, I think, every 2 months. Check their page. They have a upcoming release schedule, and there's some that we get to vote on, and there's some that we already know what's coming up. And I'm in the Campfire Facebook group, so there is a Facebook group for this. You can go and join there. I'm always in there too. And you can see what they're going to be releasing, and you can actually get the notification to go and vote on one too if you want to vote. And this was one I was so excited when I saw that they put it up, because I knew my youngest would just be so happy to see that. That is all that I have for this video. I hope you guys got a good look in here, and if you have animal lovers, definitely check this one out. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and happy homeschooling.